everyone and welcome back to our channel. It's lovely to have you here. Today we are visiting the old library at St Edmund Hall to look at the autumn exhibition on the famous author, poet and translator Kevin Crossley-Holland, a former student at Teddy Hall. Leading us through the exhibition today is Teddy Hall's very own librarian, James Howarth. We hope you'll very much enjoy this fantastic insight into the special collections. Enjoy!
So the old library is described in an 18th century travel guide to Oxford as being neat and commodious. And so we, as you can see, we've used every inch of space we can for the exhibition, including mounting these wonderful illustrations, very originals of illustrations in many of Kevin Crossley-Holland's books, which again form part of the marvellous things he's lent us for the exhibition. I do worry that his study must currently be looking very bare indeed, but it's lovely to have him here. Our autumn exhibition in the old library at Teddy Hall focuses on the work of Kevin Crossley-Holland, who is one of our alumni, as an honorary fellow of the college, who is a best-selling, permanent prize-winning children's author, also an academic translator of medieval literature, a poet, a librettist, a professor, and we're really proud to have this opportunity to celebrate his work and to put it alongside of some of the works from our historic collections that touches on the same subject. It's based on an exhibition that first ran this summer in the University of Leeds. That's where Kevin's archive is based, because he was professor of poetry there in the 1960s. Their exhibition had a wonderful display of some of his working manuscripts. For this exhibition, we're focusing more on his links with the college, and we're also very indebted to him because he has lent us many beautiful things from his own private archive. The exhibition is divided into several sections. So in our main exhibition case is where we have the things that we have very generously been lent by Kevin Crossley-Holland. Starting with this collection of objects from his childhood that he collected when he ran a small museum in his parents' shed, which he charged sixpence a time to come in and see. There's some beautiful, some Roman pottery, an 18th century snuff box, some fossils. It's just gives a beautiful sense of his inquisitiveness and his connection with things that began even when he was a child. We also have material that explores his links to the hall. We have the letter he was sent in the 1950s offering him a place in Oxford. We gazumped St John's College, who'd offered him a place in 1960, but we offered him a place in 1959 with a scholarship. We also have the Buttery book where he signed his name as an Honorary Fellow in 2001, next in fact to one of our other Honorary Fellows, Jeremy Patterson. He's not the only person from his family to come to Oxford. His daughter, Ernoni, also was one of our students in 2000. Amongst his poetic works is a poem cycle for every day of January that he wrote when she was 3. And he's very kindly lent us the manuscript of one of those poems, and on display with it a book his daughter wrote about her time teaching in inner city London. One of Kevin's most successful works is his trilogy of books called Arthur the Seeing Stone, in which a boy in the medieval Welsh borders experiences visions of King Arthur while having his own adventures. It won the Guardian Children's Prize for Fiction, which Kevin has very kindly lent us, as well as a piece of polished obsidian, which served as the initial inspiration for the book, and a beautiful drawing of the map where the action takes place that also serves as the frontispiece for the finished book. Also, Anglo-Saxon poetry, the translation of Anglo-Saxon poetry is a real cornerstone of his work, including translations of Anglo-Saxon riddles, which we have here in a copy illustrated by Gerard Scarth, and also one of his translations was once one of the poems that was put up on the Underground when they were having a series of poems in every carriage. He is a noted writer of books for children, particularly books exploring folklore and myths, including Norse myths. We have this beautifully illustrated Hen of Odin from his 2 volumes of Norse myths that he wrote very recently. And then across the table, we focus on different thematic aspects of Kevin's work. For example, he is an award-winning poet. A lot of his poetry focuses on the landscape of his childhood in the Chilterns, around Wheatleaf Cross near Princess Risborough, but more recently north of East Anglia, where he's lived for the last many years. So we have beautifully illustrated paintings that go with his poetry cycle, The Maud Man. We have a display of photographs here that he took for a book called Pieces of Land, which he wrote while on a fellowship at Leeds, that show his fascination with old landscapes, with waterworks, with waterways, and also with objects of the medieval past. Some beautiful carved Anglo-Saxon stone tombs. And again, we're very lucky to have been given a manuscript of some of his poems about East Anglia, where you can see his vision and revision of his poetry, vividly trying to capture images, in this case of an island that he remembers from childhood. This section of the exhibition focuses on Kevin's work on King Arthur, both in his Arthur trilogy, which has been translated into more than 26 volumes, a few of whom we have here, on Gareth's Tale, which is a follow-up to the original books, which focuses on the journey of a 14-year-old girl to Jerusalem. And here we've paired it with one of the 3 medieval books in the Old Library's collection, which is an account of a pilgrimage to Jerusalem undertaken in the late 15th century by a German friar, which is illustrated with fantastic woodcuts, including one here of the Holy Sepulchre. But Kevin isn't the only one of our alumni, Alarians we call them, to have written about King Arthur. Here we have a book written by a 17th century vice principal of the Hall called Prince Arthur, which is widely considered to be one of the worst poems of the period, and is absolutely atrocious, but still we're fond of it. More intentionally comic, another alumni of ours is Terry Jones of Monty Python, who wrote and directed Monty Python and the Holy Grail, and more recently the writer Patricia, one of her novels, focuses on Arthurian themes transposed to the present day. So we're an ongoing association between the Hall and Prince Arthur, perhaps appropriately, because our symbol is the Cornish chough, a black bird that in folklore is said to contain the soul of King Arthur.
That was it from the autumn exhibition on Kevin Crossley-Holland here at the Old Library at Teddy Hall. Thank you very much for joining us today. If you would like to see more from St Edmund Hall and our work and events here at Oxford, just subscribe to the channel. Thanks a lot for joining us today, and hopefully see you soon. Bye!